So here we are, late at night, really late at night, before holidays, vacations, and everything. And Shailene, we were just talking about when we're out, how it's can be so difficult when we're trying to eat healthy and the comments that we might get from friends, family, or even at a gathering. Shailene, have you ever experienced that?
I'd say it's more for me around my family. Like I love them to bits, but I don't eat the same as that they do. So a lot of the food is very heavy and oily, and I get this comment constantly to ask me like, "We ate this when you were younger. Why aren't you eating it now?" And then I constantly feel under pressure around dinner tables for Christmases or special occasions to eat the same food even though I don't like it anymore. So I definitely feel the pressure around holiday times.
Yeah. And it's hard to know. You don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to, but you don't want to compromise your own, body or values. So how do you balance that? And I think you're not alone, right?
Mm,
Everyone feels that way for different reasons. And I think the same thing has happened to me, and my family's been amazing. I think because of my health issues and they've seen what I've gone through, they're very respectful. But at the very beginning, it was difficult as well. And, being from a Greek family, and it's every event is about food. I mean, that is, and I always say to my clients, and you hear me, if you love food, you're going to do great on this plan, but it's the type of food.
yeah.
And I think I remember sometimes I would give in on my personal goals during those times. And I'd say, oh,
Uh,
fine, I'll do it. And then I'd feel like crap, literally, the next day.
it's true.
And I would say, why did I give in or why did I compromise what I had planned to do?
Mm. And there's always that expectation to eat everything. It's not just, you can't just have one thing. It's like, why didn't you try this? Why don't you try the dessert? Like, why aren't you eating this? Your mom made that. And so it's this expectation to just constantly consume everything
Yeah.
around the holiday
Mm.
season.
And even if there's not that expectation, holiday like if I'm on vacation, there's the buffet, right? If I'm at a holiday, oh my gosh, and we're watching a game or something, and the dessert table is out for the entire 2 days. I mean, someone doesn't even have to say to me, "Why aren't you eating that?" I walk by, and I'm just like, "Oh, why not?" And I just take it. So I think
Yeah.
it's those times, those celebrations are really tough. I remember, if we talk about some phrases maybe that have worked in the past. So I think why don't we share with some people some different phrases? I wrote some down, and we can talk
Mm,
about like what we might want to say. So I think the best thing is be prepared. Be prepared so you're not stuck like deer in the headlights. You know that feeling? Like
yeah.
right? They say it and you're like, I don't know, what should I do? And I think
And you
that's when
bring
we trip.
process all kinds of responses that aren't going to offend people.
Right, right. So I think one thing to do is say, and this might not work for anyone, something as simple as like, I'm trying to stick to my goals, but thank you. Or that looks amazing, but I'm really enjoying what I'm having on my plate right now. Thanks. Or,
Yeah.
you know, um, I meant to taste that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have it tomorrow,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
I,
I
I
think it's always good to, like, I'll always just say that, oh, you'd really love to have something, but and you want to try it, but you're gonna take it home. If you're at someone's place, just like ask them if you could take that home because you want to really try it, but you'll try it tomorrow, kind
yeah.
of situation.
Yeah, almost deflecting in a way. And I think humor can do that too, right? To say, like, oh my gosh, if I have one more bite, you're going to have to roll me out of here. I think another way, and I think it always like assess who you're with, watch the crowd, right? Because sometimes you want to be careful who you're honest with or how much you divulge. I think humor, I'll tend to default to humor a lot. But sometimes I think being honest and just saying, I'm trying to stick to something new and it's really been helping me. And I hope you understand I'm going to pass on this.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can invite different judgments or questions. Um, and sometimes just saying, you know what, I'm good for now. Thanks so much. I'm really good right now. And when they hear that kind of satisfaction, I think sometimes um, that can help.
Mm.
Let me ask you, have you ever tried to like redirect attention? You know, something like uh, if someone offers me something, sometimes I say, oh my gosh, that looks great. How did you make it?
Oh yes.
Right? And I get it. And I think that's fun too because I love to know about food. I love knowing those things. But, uh, and I think it can then take away if I have to eat it, but I want to honor you. And I do want to know how you made it and what it's all about. And that might help with your family too.
Yeah, I think it also makes it a lot more personal because a lot of people always put so much work into the food that they make. So redirecting it into the topic of still food is a good idea as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, and yeah, I talked about this before in the top 10, which is, at the end of the day, if you keep the focus on connection, just like that, you're connecting with someone, not through food, but, through conversation and through something, in a way that people feel that you see them, you hear them, and they see you and hear you. And that can fill us up more than any food can do.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Connection, family, and friends is always the best outcome. I mean, that's the reason why we gather in the first place is to connect with people. So I think just focusing on why you're there more than focusing on the consumption of food is a good way to just stay focused to the whole idea of holidays as a whole.
And being present. So
Mm.
true. Hey, thanks for joining me today.
Not a problem.
All right, everyone. Comment below. Tell us what tips, tricks, or phrases you're planning on using. Tell me if they messed up. We'll come back and do the same. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great holiday. Bye.